My name is Nathan Facey. I am Marcy Kaptur's Deputy Chief of Staff here in our office in Washington. I've been with Marcy for over 2.5 years, and that's all anyone needs to know about me. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur.
Good afternoon, and let me officially welcome all guests, all those who have come to join us on this very important occasion today. And as we begin, in a very respectful and solemn way, could I ask you to stand and join me by beginning our session with a brief moment of silence to recognize the victims of the Katyn atrocities of the 1940s. Please be seated. Thank you so very much. Let me say, as a congresswoman from the great state of Ohio, it is a particular momentous occasion for me personally, and I want to thank you all for joining us today to help make history whole. I want to thank the archivist and his staff for their hard and incredible work. And we have many of them joining us today, and we thank you so very much. We appreciate your training, we appreciate your education, we appreciate what you are doing for the United States, for Poland, and for the world. This is a day we have long awaited. Today we make available to the public, to the world, really, information that has been in the possession of the United States government for over a century about the infamous World War II massacre in the Katyn forest. World War II might seem far removed from the lives of most citizens today. Yet for those who appreciate the 20th century's defining struggle between liberty and tyranny, its relevance shines brightly. Katyn was an horrific act against the leadership community of Poland, and a people who had already suffered more than their share of grief and oppression. Yet the full truth of what happened at Katyn during World War II was long concealed from the families of the victims, from the people of Poland, and from the world. It is said that the winners write the history, and indeed, that is our task. Yet much of the history of Katyn was concealed for decades. Today, we shine a light on the events of more than 70 years ago, so that historians and others can understand more fully what happened and why, and the world can learn. In 2012, there is no longer any doubt that Joseph Stalin ordered the murders of thousands of Polish leaders, military officers, intellectuals, and teachers in a brutal attack that foreshadowed what lay ahead for the people of that region, as well in what Dr. Timothy Snyder calls and has entitled the Bloodlands. Professor Norman Davies of Oxford University described what occurred to the people of Poland, and I quote, as the beheading of the Polish nation during World War II. Professor Iwo Pogonowski writes as recently as this month, and I quote, "The public in the West knows very little about the cooperation between the Gestapo with the Soviet secret police in the long-prepared joint program of the beheading of the Polish nation by murdering its leadership class. During the 20 months of the Hitler-Stalin partnership, the Soviets deported some 1,700,000 people from Poland, including nearly 22,000 Polish army and police officers and members of the Polish state administration that were captured during the hostilities. 60 years ago, a select House committee, the Madden Committee, after investigating the available evidence, unanimously concluded that the Soviets had been responsible for the massacre, which the Soviets steadfastly denied until Mikhail Gorbachev implemented glasnost. The work of the Madden Committee, with its lead investigator, Roman Kuczynski, who later served as a member of the Congress of the United States from the city of Chicago, was crucial in making the truth of what happened at Katyn known to the world. We are joined by Congressman Kuczynski's daughter, a real judge, Aurelia Kuczynski, here today. If she could stand up and be recognized. Today, we lift the veil even more to bring light and truth. Why does it matter? It matters for truth. It matters because historians must know the facts so that we can learn the lessons of history so that such unspeakable atrocities do not recur. It matters for morality. It matters because we have a moral obligation to those valiant souls who brutally lost their beings to tyranny, to pursue the, and I quote from my own alma mater's motto, the continual sifting and winnowing by which alone the truth can be found. It matters for liberty. It matters because historical truth is essential to liberty's advance. Poland is a strong ally to the United States. The flame of liberty has burned in Poland's soul since the time that Generals Kosciuszko and Pulaski helped our own nation win its independence. Yet the liberty-loving people of Poland were long denied their fervent desire to be free. And it matters for history's sake. It matters because we have an obligation to history and to truth itself. As the heirs of freedom, it is our responsibility to reveal the full story of the martyrs at Katyn and the geopolitics that impacted this historic tragedy. I cannot thank everyone gathered here today enough who helped in this gallant effort and this noble effort to search truth for history's sake.